Previously on Deskbound Dilemmas, Sarah and Krishna cross paths once again, but this time it's more than just a formal interaction. As Krishna steps into his new role at the resort, he quickly realizes that the corporate world is filled with power plays, ego battles, and unspoken tensions. Sarah, still proving herself as the new leader, is met with resistance from those who doubt her abilities, including Kishore, the overbearing COO. Despite the challenges, there's an undeniable spark between Sarah and Krishna, one neither of them expected, nor can they ignore. But just as things start settling into place, a shocking turn of events at the resort threatens to disrupt everything they know. And now, Chapter 3, The Hotel. As Krishna gets acquainted with the luxurious yet chaotic world of the Gandipet Lake Resort, secrets start to emerge. A prestigious property, high-profile guests, and an undercurrent of tension. What's really happening behind closed doors? Let's dive into the next chapter of Deskbound Dilemmas.
The Gandipet Lake Resort was unlike any other hotel in Hyderabad. Perched on the tranquil shores of the iconic Gandipet Lake, the resort combined modern luxury with old-world charm, making it a coveted destination for the city's elite. Its sprawling grounds boasted immaculately manicured gardens, an infinity pool that seemed to merge with the lake's still waters, and a series of exclusive villas nestled among lush greenery. The main building was an architectural masterpiece, blending colonial elegance with contemporary design. For Krishna, the resort was more than just a place of work. It was a canvas for his ideas. As the new marketing manager, he spent his first few weeks exploring every corner of the property, understanding its appeal and potential. The grandeur of the resort was undeniable, but Krishna knew that in a competitive industry, even the most luxurious establishments needed to innovate constantly. One sunny afternoon, Krishna stood on the terrace of the main building, his gaze fixed on the shimmering lake. He was mentally drafting ideas for the upcoming Valentine's Day campaign when he heard a voice behind him. Beautiful, isn't it? He turned to find Sarah standing there, her arms crossed as she leaned against the railing. She was dressed in a crisp white blouse and tailored trousers, her sharp features softened by the sunlight. "Yes, it is," Krishna replied, nodding toward the lake. "The view alone is worth 1,000 campaigns." Sarah smiled faintly. "It's one of the reasons my father chose this location. He always said the lake had a way of calming even the busiest minds." Krishna nodded, appreciating the sentiment. He was right. It's hard not to feel inspired here. They stood in silence for a moment, both lost in thought. Then Sarah spoke, her tone shifting to a more businesslike demeanor. "I've been reviewing the resort's performance metrics. While our occupancy rates are steady, our engagement with younger clientele could be better. What do you think?" Krishna turned to face her, his expression thoughtful. "You're right. Younger guests are drawn to experiences, not just luxury. We need to highlight the unique aspects of the resort, activities that make their stay memorable. For instance, we could organize lakefront yoga sessions or create a curated photography trail around the property." Sarah tilted her head, considering his suggestions. "Interesting. Do you think we can implement these ideas before the Valentine's Day event?" Krishna's eyes lit up. "Absolutely. In fact, we could make Valentine's Day a celebration of experiences. Candlelight dinners by the lake, couples spa packages, even guided stargazing sessions. It would set us apart from the usual dinner and dance routine." Sarah's lips curved into a small smile. "I like the way you think, Krishna. Let's move forward with it. You'll have my full support." With her approval, Krishna wasted no time assembling a team to bring his ideas to life. Over the next few days, the resort buzzed with activity as preparations for the Valentine's Day event began in earnest. The marketing team worked tirelessly, crafting promotional materials that emphasized the exclusivity and romance of the resort's offerings. Social media campaigns showcased the stunning lakeside views and teased glimpses of the planned events. As the day approached, Krishna found himself increasingly engrossed in the details. He supervised the setup of the lakefront dining area, ensuring that every table had an unobstructed view of the water. He collaborated with the chefs to create a bespoke menu, blending traditional Hyderabadi flavors with international cuisine. He even arranged for a local astronomer to lead the stargazing session, adding a touch of wonder to the evening. Despite the frenetic pace, Krishna felt a sense of fulfillment. This was the kind of work he thrived on, transforming ideas into reality, creating moments that guests would remember long after their stay. The evening of Valentine's Day arrived, and the resort transformed into a romantic haven. The dining area by the lake was illuminated by hundreds of fairy lights, their soft glow reflected in the water. Couples strolled hand in hand through the gardens, their laughter mingling with the strains of live music. The air was filled with the scent of roses and freshly prepared delicacies. Krishna stood near the entrance, observing the guests as they arrived. He felt a surge of pride seeing his vision come to life, but amid the excitement, he couldn't help but search for one face in particular. "Impressive," a familiar voice said behind him. He turned to find Sarah, dressed in an elegant emerald gown that accentuated her poised demeanor. Her presence commanded attention, and Krishna found himself momentarily speechless. "You've outdone yourself, Krishna," she said, her eyes scanning the scene. The guests seemed to be enjoying themselves. "Thank you, Ms. Prasad," Krishna replied, his tone professional despite the flutter of nerves her compliment stirred. "But it wouldn't have been possible without your support." Sarah glanced at him, her expression softening. "You can call me Sarah," she said. "We're colleagues, after all." Krishna nodded, his lips curving into a small smile. "Thank you, Sarah. That means a lot." As the night progressed, Krishna continued to oversee the event, ensuring that everything ran smoothly. Meanwhile, Sarah mingled with the guests, her charm and confidence leaving a lasting impression. At one point, their paths crossed near the stargazing area, where couples lay on blankets, marveling at the constellations. "It's magical, isn't it?" Sarah said, her voice barely above a whisper. Krishna nodded. "It is. Moments like these remind us why we do what we do." She looked at him, her gaze searching. "And why do you do it, Krishna? What drives you?" He hesitated, caught off guard by the question. "I suppose it's the idea of creating something meaningful, giving people experiences they'll cherish. It's not just about numbers or campaigns, it's about connection." Sarah regarded him thoughtfully, a flicker of admiration in her eyes. "That's a rare perspective." Before Krishna could respond, they were interrupted by a guest seeking Sarah's attention. She excused herself with a nod, leaving Krishna to reflect on their conversation. As the event drew to a close, Krishna took a moment to step away from the crowd. He stood by the lake, the cool breeze ruffling his hair, and allowed himself to savor the success of the evening. In his heart, he knew that this was just the beginning. There were challenges ahead, but for the first time in a long while, he felt ready to face them.
Thank you for listening to this chapter of Deskbound Dilemmas. The story is just getting started, and there's so much more to unfold. If you're enjoying the journey, don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to Rise and Thrive for notifications on the next chapter. Stay tuned. More drama, romance, and unexpected twists are coming your way.